Kim.
If I never heard his name again, it wouldn't affect me 1 second of my life. If I came in and they're like, oh, Mike Cannon died. He fell off a train into a car. I'd be like, oh, okay. Do you want fries with the steak, or do you want to go Caesar salad with the steak, Liz? That would be the next question. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck if he's here, and he's never here.
Why am I doing this? I made a documentary that was on Netflix, okay? I'm doing this bootleg with this fucking fly-by-night cameraman. This stinks. Hey, I have a buddy from high school that has a camera. Hey, you want to go try to put together this I worked this Cellar documentary. Big fucking deal. So do 300 other comics. All right, I'm sorry.
You know, I owe it all to you, the fact that you called out for me and asked that I replace you, and it really means a lot, man.
Mike, how could I call out to replace you when I'm in a hospital with a heart attack? Two problems with that. Is that the narrative you've come up with in your head? Two problems with that narrative. One, I'm in the hospital with a heart attack. I'm not worried about who's replacing me at the show. The day I had the heart attack, I could be dead right then. I just had an operation.
Right.
An operation like an hour before. I had a heart attack at 2 o'clock. The show was at 7. So at 6 o'clock, I'm going to call and go, hey, Mike. And part two, maybe more important, if I didn't know you, how could I have said put Mike Cannon as my replacement? You were lurking around the Comedy Cellar.
But I thought I thought
The whole thing with filming at the Comedy Cellar, Louis did it, Crashing did it. No, this is totally... Oh, you stink. You're coming in right when I'm vulnerable? Get out of here. Get out of here. We are acting! Oh, no. Are you really going to sit here? You're the worst, Liz.
you gotta see what it looks like though. It looks fucking sick.
No. I'll wait till the Los Angeles Rams front line moves out of the way. What? I'm doing a documentary. The documentary's on people that use racial slurs during podcasts and how I don't get involved.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing
No, wait. Ready to go. What are you doing?
Some kid, I don't even remember his name, but he's doing a documentary because he works the cellar. That's how excited he was that he got to work the cellar, that he's filming a documentary around it. He stinks. Oh, guess what? Hey, and here's my second documentary. They're giving me a guest spot at Gotham.
Hang on, wait.
Oh, documentary 2. Guess what? They're booking me at Bananas in Hasbrook Heights.
Hey, fourth documentary. I just got a weekend at Side Splitters with Mike Feeney.
Yeah, Mike Feeney. Do you guys ever argue, you and Feeney, who stinks more? Feeney, you and Feeney. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't let you in my car.
Mike Cannon. That's his name, right? Mike. It's Cannon, right? Oh, Feeney, the other one. Yeah, he, and then he was like, yeah, she's like, oh, he's getting in. I'm like, yeah. I was like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Oh, he's funny. Oh, yeah, Esty, you gotta. And then I was like, I'm gonna go down and watch him. And I remember I opened the door, and I took 2 steps down, and I walked back up, and I just ate some fries. Yeah, I watched him on a TV for like 2 seconds, and then he came up, and he was sweating. Ugh, his hands are wet, and it was just wet. It's like, dude, you're a comic, bro. It's a 5-minute set. Relax.
What did I see from Mike's career in the near and distant future? I haven't thought about Mike's career. I don't care. I haven't thought about it. I hardly fucking know him. I'm doing this hoping he will leave me alone. Fuck him.
I'll take a quick photo of you and Mike.
Thank you so much, man.
Do I see myself taking Mike on my wing? Are you fucking crazy? Mike is just not going to work. It's not going to happen. You can tell it in the very beginning. He's going nowhere. Period. So why would anybody waste time putting this jackass under their wing?
He stinks, and I don't like him.
He gets booked on Thursday, but it's really Friday morning when he performs. It's like, what the fuck?
I seen the same white guy coming there before, like you see, and with the same shit that's going nowhere. He'll do one Conan O'Brien, I promise you that, and that'll be that. Because that's the package that every white guy gets, at least one Conan, before they get the fuck out of the business.
Let me explain a couple things about Rich Vos and Mike Cannon, because I worked at Comedy Cellar, big fucking deal, all right? The other day, just boring, I was flicking through Netflix, and I was watching Chelsea Handler's documentary, and Kevin Hart was talking, saying, if it wasn't for these bigger acts or legends in the business, I would have never made it. And he mentioned Colin Quinn, Billy Burr, myself, Rich Vos. Okay, so that's the level where I'm at.
Boy, I remember he was there for his Cellar night. But it was more of a, I said to Esty that, oh, he's a funny guy. Again, I was just lying. I had no idea. I don't know, I was bored. It was Saturday. I had like 6 shows. We already trashed each other. It was in between meals.
Did you introduce yourself to me once before that?
I did, yeah. I had said hello to you before, and we'd spoken. Chris Distefano, he introduced us, and we had some conversation about Irish people.
The stamp of approval, Chris Distefano. Yeah. You're right. Now I take it back. Chris Distefano signed off on you, so that must have meant I was like, oh, Chris likes him. He must be gold. Do you ever think these things through?
I don't know.
Mike has come up to me and said, I've looked up to you and the other tough crowd comics and some of the comics that used to sit at the Cellar. And he wants to know how that makes me feel. It makes me feel like that I want to quit the business, because if my geniusness can spawn such low-level, not even any rememberable comedy. Okay, when you walk out of a Mike Cannon show, you'll go, I don't know, the guy before him, that Rich Vos was really funny, but how does he work this club? I hope he never films a documentary about working this club, because this is a fluke. The tough crowd comics, I looked up to you. Shut up. All right, you looked up to us. Well, guess what? I'll always look down at you.
He looks like a volunteer fireman. Maybe he'll do that after. So.
When I first seen Mike, I was like, oh boy, another nondescript white boy. Robotic. You got to plug him in to charge his batteries, because he's going to be real old, like, hey, I'm ready for Conan O'Brien now. One of those, you ready for Conan O'Brien white boys.
Okay, I'll never turn on the TV and go, oh, hope I'm him someday. I hope I look like a guy with a haircut that looks like a Roman nickel, all right? He stinks, his friends stink, his crew stinks. And, he goes, hey, he goes back to his friends, I worked the Cellar tonight. Yeah, he worked at 2:30 to 4 people eating wings. There were more wings in the audience than members.
But he got into the club because of me. He got into the club because I had a heart attack, and Mike happened to be hanging out at the Comedy Cellar, and probably 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night, which says something about Mike that just now I'm thinking to myself, do you understand? He seems like a laid-back, nice guy, good guy. The ambition, the Machiavellian move of being at the Cellar at 6 at night on a Tuesday, there's no reason to be there. There's nobody there. There's no audience, there's no comedians. Mike happened to be there. So basically, to say he jumped in my grave is obviously not an exaggeration. He was there with Rich Vos, which already is suspect. And then Rich Vos is going on, and Liz goes, Colin had a heart attack, show must go on. I had a show that night. So Rich Vos fills in, and then Mike Cannon goes on, does 10 minutes, apparently kills, and then that's it. So now he's in the club.
I can't even say I wish him the best, because I don't. I don't wish him the best because he's just like a fucking hacky dude.
He literally has to show up one day and he performs the next day. That's what garbage he is. I mean, here, whatever. It's cool. I mean, God bless him. You know, all the luck. But I could care less if I never hear. Actually, I would prefer it. I'd prefer it. I hope his family has a business. Like, I hope his dad has like a business. And his dad has some type of heart condition where he has to step down, and he needs Mike to go home to Idaho. I don't know where the fuck. I don't even know where he's from. I would imagine Idaho or some shit like a Dakota, and he has to go home and run the business. I hope that happens. I hope he has to leave. You know, because he sure isn't going to give up on this fucking dream. He's holding on to it with a death grip like it's going to happen, and it's probably not.
To talk about what I think of Mike Cannon working the Comedy Cellar, it's pretty presumptuous to think that I think about Mike Cannon working the Comedy Cellar, because I don't. You know, he's one of those guys, the young guys that doing it. Say, hey, Mike, how you doing? Fine. And I mean, I'm sure they resent us taking their spots, and that's how it goes. I get it.
I'll take a quick photo. You and thank you so much, man.
One time I was walking down the street minding my business, and Mike walks by and he stops me, just like any other audience member would, in my opinion. One, he wanted to take a picture with me. I'm like, oh, Jesus. He's going to put it on Facebook and go, oh, look who I'm pals with. And then he said to me, or he asked me what I thought his future would be in the business. I go, well, right now the biggest thing you have in the business is this picture with me. I think in the business, I don't know if there's a rafter high enough from you to hang from, okay? Because that's where it's headed. A human pinata, okay?
5 minutes. They asked you for 5 minutes. You've been yammering for 20 minutes.
It's called editing. They're only getting 1/4 of you. Moved over a little.
First of all, it's a wide-angle lens.
It's a wide.
I saw it, so I knew where I was.
It better be going around the block then. Mike wants to know.
Why do you got to be?
Because you came over attacking me. I'm doing this. Nobody's fucking
Just do
done
this.
with me.
Creepswithkids.com.
Yeah. Listen.
Go there.
Mike came in. Mike put out an album. Oh, I mean, okay, it's 23 minutes long, but still.
Is it really?
No, he didn't have that much time.
He did 45 and a half minutes.
He stinks with a capital T.
He had to leave in the hello. and thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Just so it made 45 minutes.
Not only that, and he threw in, oh, wait a second, don't forget to tip the wait staff.
Yeah, he had to leave that in.
Yeah, had to leave that in. And the one good thing he's bringing back is the comic that doesn't get paid but still passes the hat around for a little money. You know what I mean? You know, he's like a street comic indoors. He passes the hat around.
Who does a documentary when you get passed at a club?
Yeah.
You should be at the point where you're like, yeah, I should be here.
Yeah.
And then just keep it moving.
Well, his documentary should
This guy has to cement, because he knows at one point he's going to get the hot. He's just going to leave his avails to nothing.
His documentary.
And this documentary is the only thing he's going to, when he tells his kid, no, I worked there. I did.
Yeah.
No, you didn't, Daddy. It's okay. No, I have a documentary. Let me find it.
His documentary should be called Passed Up, okay? Because half or 3/4 of the industry are going to pass up on him. You look at him. There's nothing endearing about him. There's nothing unique.
No.
There's not. I mean, when you watch him, you can close your eyes and go, "What white guy is that?"
Well, he looks like he looks like he owns a food truck.
He does, and he walks around so happy while he's crying inside, knowing that if a national headliner came along, would swoop away his wife, kid, his parents.
Jesus Christ, his wife and kid. Don't go that far. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Nobody's going to swoop away. First of all, don't say swoop.
Don't say swoop.
It's a brand new lens. Okay? Second of all, you're talking about he just had a baby. Someone's going to come and steal his family?
Well, the baby doesn't know, and the baby grows up with a real headliner.
Like
it's
who?
Not like, I don't know. Anybody that works before 12:30.
I love that he thinks he's a headliner when he has to do Thursday, Sunday, and Monday.
No, yeah. Listen.
I'm a headliner. When are you working? Thursday and Sunday?
No.
Who's working Friday and Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's not even a headliner. He's a co-driver for the headliner. He takes turns with the other driver to drive the headliner to the gig.
he still gets paid at the Cellar in food.
And only off the left side of the menu, not the whole menu.
No, that's Keith.
Keith gets the left side of the menu.
Because he had a stroke.
Yeah. Well,
No?
that was
Jesus, that's terrible. Now see what you did to me. You got me being mean.
I got you being mean. You've
You
never
like-
been nice. Was there good stuff there?
Yeah.
I'm a big actor. I don't know if you know this, but I've done a lot of auditions for movies.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I see him working his way down. Wherever you're from, I wish you'd go back. Maybe you'll be a big dude in Idaho. Maybe Mike will be a big guy in Idaho because he's not working out here for us right now.
So really, the bottom line is Mike Cannon is only in this club because of me. That's the only reason he's in. My heart attack. He owes it all to me. He jumped in my grave. Mike, sit down.
What's up, CQ?
CQ is, I'm just talking about how you only got in the club because of me.
Right, yeah, I owe it all to you, man.
Because of my heart attack.
Yeah, I owe it all to you, the fact that you called out for me and asked that I replace you, and it really means a lot, man.
Mike, how could I call out to replace you when I'm in a hospital with a heart attack? Two problems with that. Is that the narrative you've come up with in your head? Two problems with that narrative. One, I'm in the hospital with a heart attack. I'm not worried about who's replacing me at the show. The day I had the heart attack, I could be dead right then. I just had an operation.
Right.
An operation like an hour before. I had a heart attack at 2 o'clock. The show was at 7. So at 6 o'clock, I'm going to call and go, hey, Mike. And part two, maybe more important, if I didn't know you, how could I have said put Mike Cannon as my replacement? You were lurking around the Comedy Cellar.
But I thought I thought you liked considering that I was a strong comic.
Well, but I hadn't even YouTubed you at that time, so I really didn't know if you were a strong comic or not. I was dying, basically, and honestly, this is how little I knew of you. If Liz had said, should Chris Distefano go on, I would have said no with my dying breath. Never mind somebody that Chris Distefano introduced me to.
Are you happy that you helped get me in there?
I was happy until this documentary. Now I'm saying, like, why? Just what people need, by the way, a comedy documentary for your opening of your special.
Do you think this has been opened
I don't
up?
think you've seen enough of those.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we have this great story. Basically,
You think I'm wishing for your death?
well, you wouldn't be the first person.
I will say this: it would help this documentary quite a bit.
Do you think you'd get more spots if I died or not?
No, I don't think I'm next in line, to be perfectly
No.
honest. I think some grizzled
Probably the
Irishmen.
usual chisellers are going to be just adding to their already overflowing plates.
Yeah.
I used to think that the worst move in my career was when I told Mike Myers I wasn't interested in Austin Powers. Please leave me alone. And now I realize it was my heart attack and getting you into this club. That's actually surpassed Mike Myers and Austin Powers for bad career moves on my book.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
See, this at the team.
Hop in a whip and I'm out.